So today I'm going to talk to you about implementation of an RTI module at your school and what that's going to look like and the purposes of it. So the first thing that we have to think about is the focus of learning instead of teaching at the school. So traditionally, when you think of like a school, a lot of people think of like these are the standards that I have to get through. This is the amount of time. These are how many instructional days. These are how many instructional hours that I have. And instead, the RTI model really asks you to think about more about what students are learning and what's happening within the time frame that you have them. So it's not so much about like just getting through, like going a mile wide and an inch deep, but it's more about going like maybe less wide and much more deeply. So the way we do that is we look at individualized learning and differentiation for students, and that can be done through the RTI process. So the questions 3 and 4 in a PLC ask, like, once we know what we want students to know and we know how we're going to measure whether they know it, we have to ask what are we going to do if they don't know it, and what are we going to do if they do know it. So RTI is a great way to be able to make accommodations and scaffold learning for the students who are like either on question 3 that are not understanding it, or on question 4 where they are. The first thing you always want to start with though is the tier 1, like high quality instruction with quality instructors, to make sure that all students are receiving a great education and like at the same instructional level all the way across the board. If everyone is receiving the same type of high quality instruction and some students are like failing to progress in certain ways, then you can start to look at tier 2 interventions. So they might need additional like writing scaffolds. They might need to be pulled out for additional literacy instructions. They might have specific reading strategies that would work for them. A general ed teacher is able to provide these. A special ed teacher, if it's like an ELL student, some type of specific literacy that focuses, or special literacy coach or specialist that focuses with students of non-native speaking English, would be able to help with that. If all of those are in place and the assessments are still coming back and the student is like not progressing, then you can move into more tier 3 and have them assessed for special services in that way. On the opposite end of the spectrum, on question 4, you can look for students who, like, let's say you're doing standards-based grading and the assessments are constantly coming back that the student is mastering like every assessment all the time. Then you can say, okay, how can we be pushing these students forward? Sometimes what that means is that instead of like normal teaching, you think about the learning of the student and say, okay, their learning is maybe like the next grade level up. Maybe they can take an AP course. Like, how can we challenge them so that they're still learning and being pushed with like the level that they're at?